Morning, y'all. It is early morning. It's 6 minutes past 6 here in England. We have a game with the white pieces against K9 for you. And we have ourselves a Sicilian. So we're going to play the Smith-Mora gambit. Hope you can see me all right. I know it's a little bit dim still out there. Okay, they've taken the first pawn. Let's see about pawn number 2. D3 is playable here, in which case we just recapture the bishop, but there we go. Okay, the spicy old Smith-Mora. And I am really learning my way through this. I would imagine that I don't know any more than my opponent does. Okay, they bring the knight out. You can play your bishop out here. Or you can just play knight f3. Either is fine. Okay, and we have d6. So d6 means what? This bishop can come out into the board, right? And that's sometimes a reason to play the bishop out first, so that if they play, for example, d6, they haven't played e6 yet, that they could bring their bishop out with a pin. But it's not a horrible pin. It's a very real pin. And now e6, so that's, okay, we can forget about that idea. So d6, e6, very common combination. Often a6 comes with it as well. We can castle our king. Don't see any immediate tactics here. This is kind of a solid approach to the opening. Okay, both knights out. My bishop now does have a natural place to go. I want to get my rooks, definitely one on d1. And also notice that there's only pieces here. I've got 3 bishops and 2 knights on the c-file. Immediate e5. This is a move that I very often overlook, according to the game analyses. So e5, what happens? We're hitting the knight. If they take, we can't recapture. So maybe I'll play queen e2 now to support e5. It's a very sacrifice-friendly opening. If you've been watching, I recommended you sign up to Chess is Best with Stacia. Stacia Melinda Pugh, I think her name is. She plays the Smith-Mora, and she's like 1800 rated, and really takes her time, but she's super aggressive with it. Really makes good viewing, and very nice on the ear as well. Got a cup of coffee this morning. Had a very strange day yesterday on the old channel. That I started the day with 11,999 subscribers, and I've just hit 12,000. But it went like it stayed at 11,999 all day, and then went down 1, and then back up 1, and down 1. And there is a thing, I think, on YouTube. I've got a friend who quite quickly grew up to the 12,000 mark and then suddenly plateaued. And we think it was because of some of the content that he was talking about, kind of challenging the facts, if you want to put it that way. And yeah, I'm kind of similar. We've worked together for a few years, and I also got kicked off PayPal on the exact same day as another one of my colleagues. That we were in like the same group. We were questioning the official narrative around a certain health scare that was around, if you may remember, just a few years ago. We were throwing out some maybe alternative ideas around that, and both of us received an email on the same day saying that our PayPal accounts had been binned. No explanation, no appeal, no nothing. That was it, for lifetime ban, right? Both of us, same day, which I thought meant we must have been both on the same list of wrong-uns. There you go. So I'd really like to get a rook here on d1. This is kind of normal. Black is kind of playing his cards close to his chest. He's got reasonable control over his half of the centre, right? But nothing well, I mean, he's got, I guess, some of my half as well, actually. So, but you know, he's not reaching too far. So we'll come back to the subscriber story in a minute, I guess. Now, can I push? Pawn takes, I take. He takes, I can take. Or I think we play rook d1 first, and then that pins the pawn, so it can't take. So I push. He could push. I take knight. He takes bishop, but then I take bishop. That doesn't work. Okay, so now again he's cowering in his shell. Push. Takey, 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 takey. The key to the Morra is aggression. You have to be super aggressive. K9 for you, because it's from Australia. Right, what are we doing? It's defended only once right now and attacked once. This attacks it a second time. But is that unpleasant? I don't know. Push. If push, I just take, I think. Yeah, he can't push. Because I take, he has to recapture. I push, he pushes, I take, right? I push, he takes. He's pinned his bishop. Yeah, I think it feels like it's critical, you know? It feels like it's got to be done. I've been watching Ginger GM, and it's something he's been banging on about in his current speed run. Always play the critical move, he says. Always play the critical move. See how this bishop, it seems like it's doing nothing. It seems like it's biting on granite at this point in time, but it may have a future. Also, black's not castled, which is nice to see. This is all about activity, getting our pieces out. Feels like we are the one surrounding black a bit, and black is like having to defend. Of course, I'm also technically threatening the bishop. Bishop can't escape. So, I could take out the bishop now and win the bishop pair. That's a thought. If I take this knight here, they have to recapture with a b-pawn, but that feels like a real cop-out. That feels like me choosing to simplify. I've just got a knight in the centre, in a really aggressive position. I feel like I'd be really wussy. And a kind of a cop-out for me just to cash in that knight now, for the sake of making an isolated pawn. But I'm still a pawn down. So that would really, really not be a good thing to do. I take here, knight has to take. Now I'm kind of liking that. It means he's lost his defensive knight on the king side. Now my queen isn't really in a great position yet to attack anything. But I feel like on a board like this, there are possibilities. So maybe pawn to b3, bishop b2, something like this, yeah? My bishop might come back to this diagonal. We have two good diagonals. I mean, right now, we've pinned the f-pawn. And you have to think, okay, well, where is the best place for this bishop to go? Well, it ain't any of these squares, I don't think. Unless I put a queen here, bishop h6, that old chestnut. Yeah, it kind of feels slowish. I'm in favour of this positional. Also, my knight's a bit sluggish. Do I bring my knight here to kind of prevent him going back there? Because, I mean, that's what he's going to want to do. But he can't do it right now because the knight's pinned. Knight's pinned by the rook. So do I have time to play this kind of manoeuvre? I do want to get the bishop off the back rank, and I don't think that... I mean, this is slow as well, isn't it? It threatens mate. They push g6, you win the rook. So is queen here good? Fundamentally, is it good? Well, it's lined up with the king. It technically pins the g-pawn. So 1, 2... I mean, that also kind of... 1, 2, and then we are still targeting the g-pawn, right? So I could push this, but then knight comes straight there. Okay, there you go. No, he doesn't come straight there because he loses his queen, but then he's attacking my queen. So queen here, knight here. I take queen, he takes queen, I take rook, he takes... Again, we've just simplified down, taking us one step further to an endgame where black's got an extra pawn. What's the point in that? I want to hang on to my material. We do not want exchanges. I want these knights, these slow knights. Also, this bishop is poor. Just striking at the sides of the board. So I have to maximize activity. I have to find ways to get physical. I feel like I haven't been that dynamic yet in this game. So I think maybe what I need to do is I need to go and revisit some really good Morra games and try and get into the spirit of the opening. It definitely suits the player I want to be. It doesn't necessarily suit where I am now. But I love the idea of grabbing the initiative. Okay, so what he's done here is he's broken the pin on the knight. So now the knight can come back to there. So I'm going to play bishop e2 without a second thought. The knight, I believe, is going to come here. Right, but also, rook ac1 makes sense. I know there's a lot of junk in the way. A lot of junk on the c-file, but junk shifts. He's going to want to do this. He's also going to be backed up by the bishop as well. So if I was to ever like trade, he can bishop takes and then the bishop defends there. So the knight would defend this square. The bishop would defend this square. It depends which one. Now, if I was to put my light squared bishop on this diagonal, he's looking there. The DSB is looking here. But then Queenie has to kind of dance around and try and find a way to attack. This is the Scheveningen formation. Was ist das Scheveningen? Smith-Mora gambit accepted. And this is now Scheveningen. Okay. 2 knights, 2 pawns. Rock solid. Okay. Here we are. So, in my case for the prosecution, I have the bishop pair and the bishops are currently well positioned. Okay, he did not move the knight. Why, curious, sir. There's a thought. Now this, but then you can move the knight, you see. So should I centralise my knight first? I like this idea. One reason is it opens up the bishop, not looking at... No, that's not even a diagonal. That opens up the bishop, also prevents his knight from coming there. I think that's a zero-brain idea. Also, the knight could come in this way. So it has options. A nice, flexible knight in the centre of the board. We talk about this a lot. Knights in the centre. Very powerful. Knight over here, good in a defensive capacity if you've castled long, which we haven't done. King E's over here. Right, his defensive knight is off the board. Excuse me. Alright, so now, this is very much an idea. I'm threatening mate. Now, am I going to get checkmate? No, that's not the point. The point is that I force my opponent to take a step back in some way and do something he doesn't want to. Like if this, I take, bishop takes, then bishop defends g7. But then bishop takes bishop. Doesn't work. Right, so here, this just doesn't work. I take, the pawn can't take because the pawn's in a pin by the queen. Bishop can't take because bishop takes bishop, and the pawn can't recapture because it's in the pin by the queen. See? Rook ac1 is also a thought. I might want to put this bishop here at some point. This knight could then be pinned on the queen. So you really, really want to take advantage of these C and D files in the Morra. It's a common theme. Okay, he's coming after the bishop. Now I do have this, and I'm going to do it, I think. But am I worried about that move? Bishop d3, knight d4 hits the queen. I take rook takes. I'd rather not give up the bishop pair, but I think he can force the bishop pair. I'll go here. If I take, he's got 3 ways to recapture. That would take some thinking about. That's a reasonable move. Rook ac1 is a thought here. He takes, maybe rook takes. Might have ideas about swinging my rook over. I trade. I'd imagine queen, but this knight in. I take rook takes. I don't really want to give up that bishop at all. Right now he can't go in there because I've got triple eyes on there. Bishop there though, just... Triple eyes? Did I say triple eyes? No. 2. I might have to let him have the light square bishop. If I come here, I'm targeting g7 mate. So he has no time to do that. And again, this is the knight that could have gone here, but it didn't. It went the wrong way. So is it time to counter threat on here? So if I go queen g4, I'm inspired by Station now to do more thinking, really use my clock. Here, what's he got? He's got bishop here. That doesn't work, right? We just take. So what else has he got? He's got g6. g6, then I come in with this. Yeah. That'll do. That'll do, pig. g6, I feel, with my dark square bishop nicely tucked away there, is a really meaningful concession on black's part. Also, moving my queen away from there gives me bishop e2 as an idea. Now he does have rook takes d1, rook takes d1. And all he's done there is got rid of his better rook and improved my worse one. Happy days. Look, swapping this rook that is on an open file for this rook that is still in the box. Poor decision. Now I have the open file. Ho, ho, ho. Name the film. So yeah, this subscriber count thing. Ah, very interesting. Yeah, so I was going to say, if you aren't subscribed, just let's do a test today. Hit subscribe. You can always, if you hate my content and it's crap, then unsubscribe a day or two later, don't matter. And then put in the comments, I've subscribed. And let me see, like if 20 people say I've subscribed today, because normally I get about 10 a day, right? Which is about 1,000th of what Gotham Chess gets, by the way. But yeah, if you put in the comments, I've subscribed, and then I will compare how many people say they've subscribed to does the number go up? I'm just curious. Okay, so we have action. Pawn to e5. Right, now we have tension between the ladies. However, I have... Why have I gone... No, don't do Northern Ireland, Hunty, please, for goodness sake. I have eyes on this, but he can eliminate that at any time of his choosing. So, however, I do not want to lose the queen. A bishop attacks that, it's defended once. Okay. There has to be something in this position. First thought is to do something like this or this. I'm thinking queen h5, and I'll tell you for why. One is that, because I'm threatening just to come in with check, forced the king into the corner. Right? But the other one is from there, I've got two attackers on here. Now if I go here, and he goes here, and I take back, or I could drop my queen back down. If he takes, I take. Pawn's still pinned. I don't know. I don't want the board to simplify. I want to keep all my hotshot pieces on the board. And I'm pretty sure I don't want to trade queens. So we have ourselves a problem. And we're creeping ever towards an endgame where I'm a pawn down. And that is the pawn in question. Or just this as well. Also targets this pawn. Still threatens that. So I'm threatening that maybe this, knight takes, queen takes back. So let's evaluate these two. Either way, he takes there. Also then defending this, so I think I have to recapture. No major difference. I mean, this one's slightly more forcing because I am threatening a check, capturing the pawn there. Then g6 is a kick, but that's okay. I think if I can ever provoke g6, weakening the dark squares, then that is a good thing. So let's go down this route. I'm imagining he's going to take here and I recapture. I don't think there's any kind of in-between move before recapturing because he defends this pawn, etc., etc. So you can pre-move it with 4 minutes 27 on the clock. I've got a knight. There we go. Okay. And you see, like, you know, the moving parts are just like dwindling away. I've also now got isolated pawns. He's got connected pawns. Ooh, he's telling me to get up. He's got connected pawns on the queen side. So he's done a good job at weathering the storm that I didn't manage to concoct. However, he does have an issue right now. He's a pawn up, but... Pawn up, but... That's not what I meant. He's a pawn up, comma. But I have two attackers on here. So now he's got something to think about. My rook is also loose, my bishop's undefended, my knight's undefended. Everything's kind of loose and scrappy right now. Okay, there we go. Queen defends that and attacks this simultaneously. I have this though, which I'm going to play immediately. That puts a third attacker on here. So I've got rook, well, bishop, rook, then queen. He has only two defenders. Now okay, so there we go. There is some movement now, but it has strengthened him in a way on the dark squares. I'm just going to push that for now. To stop his bishop or knight coming into this square. I don't really want him attacking my rook. But I'm kind of... Right, okay, that rook is effectively pinned, because if I move out of the way... Oh no, queen defends that square actually. Queen defends that square. This... If I take, I'm thinking bishop takes, but again we simplify down and it's unwise. I attack the queen. And that. You can't go there. Oh no, well we've got bishop takes. And then he's removed his own dark squared bishop. I don't know. Bishop takes, rook takes. Feels a bit like yesterday's game, you know, I'm just getting ground down. Where's the dynamism? I'm down to 3 minutes too. I'm looking for tactics and I can't see anything. If rook takes me, I take. Knight just back here, he can't really take because that loses some material. Let's just see what happens. See, if rook takes rook, I take back, and I don't think he can move with check, and I don't think he can necessarily counterattack either. So it's a half-arsed tactic, which I don't think he's going to fall for. So I've kind of, in my own mind now, I've been looking at my recent performances over the board and in slower rapid games. I don't count 10 minute, but in the 15-10s. And I feel like when I've been playing well, I'm given a guess at ELO on the chess.com game report of 1750. So right now I'm feeling like that 1750 is my top 10% of performance. So that's where I should be aiming at in terms of rapid rating. As long as I don't mess about too much with 10 minute. 10 minutes like middle-aged blitz, isn't it really? I'm unhappy with my dark square bishop, and I've allowed him to build this dark square pawn chain. Maybe what I need to do is just like throw Harry up or something, just to mess things up. I need to create something on the dark squares to make use of this guy. Maybe my target then should be this pawn. I mean, this is an idea, but then again he just pushes. You've really got to go balls out in the Morra. And I feel like I didn't do that in this game. Oh, we have g6 now, look. Here comes g6, alright, alright. He's got 2 ways to recapture. I think I'm just going to come back here. I've got to play quite quickly now. I was thinking about putting my knight back here, maybe. Get some attention on there. I'm happy to see a pawn move on the king side. That makes this now the rearmost pawn of this chain of now just 2 pawns. So now maybe h4, h5 kind of things. Queen g3. Again, this is not good. Knight has options. I feel like h4 is going to come. h4, h5 push. I feel like he blinked a little bit there. He's down to 4 minutes 20, but I'm on 2.5 minutes. And he took 2:20 over that move. You can't keep doing that when you've got 4 minutes 6 on the clock. So what I need to do now is kind of complicate things. I need to prepare complications. I think h4 is nice, kind of threatening stuff. Again, still this isn't on. If he does this, I'd probably play just queen g3. Gives my queen some options, but also then it pins this pawn. That's the key thing. He's on 3.5 now. What's going on? But we do have a 10-second increment, and he is still a pawn up. And I've given up the bishop pair, and I've given up the 2 rooks, and allowed far too much simplification. Also, got to bear in mind there is a potential back rank issue. So h4 again, that's another argument in favour of h4 and the Harry-Carry attack. I think Simon Williams has just published a book on the Harry attack. It might be just against the King's Indian defence and early h4. Right, opponent has decided he wants to trade off. Now, this is playable because queen there is covered by the knight. And he can't force my rook out of there because now this is actually my knight covers both squares, which is a very good horse, very good horse. Okay, opponent's on 250 now. Is the clock going to play a part? Here he has to decide how to retake. I think he's going to retake with the bishop because the knight's on a protected square and it would carry it further from the centre and make it maybe vulnerable. So I think if that is a bit of a no-brainer to take with the bish. That doesn't really help because he's got 2 defenders. Also, he may trade here, but if he trades, I think I don't know. I don't take with the knight. I have to take with the pawn. Because otherwise this is forces mate. Actually, I can't move the knight at all because the bishop would hang, so I need to be a bit careful here. Bit careful. This bishop is actually a bit of an Achilles heel. Queen there right now, I can take, that's not an issue. If rook takes, I have to take the pawn. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either, because then I've got an aggressive pawn. I'd have to get my queen behind it, and I can't really right now. Maybe I should have put my queen like here or something like that, or here, rather than going this way. Now for the first time I'm having to start to think defensively. But my opponent is on 1:15. Might have to put my queen back on e3. He's under a minute now. Queen e3. I'm thinking about defense and I'm thinking about the clock as well. 45 seconds. In comes the knight. Looking at this. Well, in that case, I'm going to play the move I thought of. You come here, I drop back here. Good to have prepared a move, and I think it's kind of workable. Here, I just drop back to E2, guarding stuff. Might push that. He's on 40 seconds. Coordination is going to be important. I really want to get everything defended. So Queen D2 looks quite good. Just, I'm out of the way of his queen, and that simplification. 25 seconds. The bishop is the only defender of the rook now, by the way. I can pre-move that recapture. Turn. 9, 8, 7. He's close to the wire. No way. All right. Flagged him. Flagged him. But at the same time, I'm not happy. Not happy with that game. First of all, accuracy. 76 from me, 81 from him, and I blundered. I blundered with queen there. You are losing a bishop. Is it because of that? 1500 from me and 1650. Yeah, I kind of worked that out afterwards. But what you don't appreciate, Mr. Fish, with all due respect, is my opponent's under time pressure as well. One great move, 4 best. That's not very good, is it? Okay, let's go back to the start then. Okay. Book, bookity, 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 book. Move 9, and we're still in book. Okay. And that was okay. He should have pushed there to prevent... Oh, but it's a mistake. You missed an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. Best move here. Huh. Okay. And this loses a pawn. Why? Whoa. Okay, that's a sequence. So we remove a defender of that pawn. Knight has to recapture. Was it this then? Fe, queen takes, and then at the end of all of this, wow. Okay. Wow. How do you see that? Okay, let's think about it again. Takes, queen can't take, only knight can take, right. So we saw, in fact, that was my next move. But what I missed was this. I missed something similar in yesterday's game. Yeah, that's the miss. Okay. It was very, very similar, actually. Takes, takes, takes with check and a second attacker. The exact same pattern as yesterday. Okay. And he's drilling into here. Other than that... So I think it's the same kind of theme. So yesterday's game I played against this Philidor, again lower rated opponent, and he just curled up into a ball and I couldn't get through. But then we had the exact same tactic. And I think I put it in a study. Forks, queen forks. Medium or hard? Let's have a look. Not that one. Not that one either. Nope, I can't find it. No, I think maybe it didn't go into a study at all. But anyway, so more Morra mayhem, more studies required for sure. And I need to sharpen up on these tactics, because right now it seems like I'm getting only a few chances per game. Yeah, we kind of let it slip here towards the end. This night retreat was a mistake. Queen back. But my opponent played very, very well, and he was just unlucky on the clock. You know, if we'd had plenty more time, he would have ground me down for sure. So yeah, can't really celebrate that one, but I can celebrate having another good lesson to learn, which was, I think, here, wasn't it? Yeah. So I started well, and this is what I missed. That. And then it's two attackers with check. Okay. Well, all I can do is just keep looking at it, keep trying it. I think I probably will add that to a study. But other than that, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, please do subscribe, and then to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and put it in the comments, say, you know, I've subbed or whatever, so that we can just check this thing. I'm just curious. Okay, thanks, do appreciate it. Okay, see you later.